Imagine calling 911.
Okay, what's going on over there?
Okay, lady. Me, my dad, and my brother, we're working on a truck in our backyard, and we have a big lot.
And telling them there's something in your backyard.
We were working, and we just see in a corner of our eye something fall down from the sky, and it was with light. And when it hit down, it was like a big impact, and we felt it. We felt like an energy, and then we hear like a lot of footsteps near us, and then we have a big equipment, and we see, and there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one beside it, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
Not a person, not an animal, something else.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us.
Somehow, it was caught on camera. Today, we're reacting to the footage and trying to figure out what people actually saw that night. This was my reaction. Should we watch all of them? Like this one? This one looks like a good one. We're 11 minutes in. No, 12 minutes in this stream. Might as well. Let's see how this one is.
Χωράμε και κάνεις παρít λέγα γέγγε, αλλά τσόρσι χώρα. Τσόρσι.
Let's talk about the Las Vegas alien encounter.
In
May of 2023, a family would call 911 saying there were 10-foot tall aliens in their backyard. This happened immediately following a bright green light streaking across the sky, seen from Nevada to Utah, and even by the same police who would respond later to that call. The story then swept through the media as the strange details just got stranger.
The family says they also saw men in suits and sunglasses driving in a car with government plates cruising slowly past the house in the following days.
The family gave a handful of reluctant interviews, and then they just went dark.
The primary witnesses have been almost as elusive as the beings they say they encountered.
I went through all the evidence I could find, organized it, and present it to you now. What really happened in Vegas that night? I think I might know. This is Exploring the Paranormal.
But what happens in
Las Vegas
Vegas stays in Vegas.
Here's the timeline of the events as they were told. The Kenmore family lives in a house in a Las Vegas suburb that they rent from a landlord. Angel Kenmore, 16, was working on a car with his younger brother, Joshua. Angel would see a bright object fall from the sky and enter their backyard, sending sparks on impact.
When I saw it from the sky, it was a greenish color, and when it fell down, it turned red and then blue. The last thing I saw was sparks.
Angel and Joshua went to investigate, but the craft was suddenly nowhere to be seen. In fact, seeing much of anything was difficult because his backyard was now blurry and foggy. But they weren't alone in that fog.
Oh,
I heard a lot of footsteps, and I kind of in a way I heard like a little bit of like voices, but I did heard a lot of footsteps everywhere. Like you could feel them behind you, in front of you, on the side of you, and everywhere.
And that's when he saw the first being.
Like I saw it walk from left to right very fast.
Did you see where it went after that point?
No, I went behind the 4 foot.
Angel and Joshua were now face to face with a towering creature. It stood 9 to 10 feet, was incredibly skinny, and had greenish-gray slimy skin.
So they look like slimy.
I saw this video,
like,
Sherman the Vermin.
Color like gray. Gray color, yeah. You know like dolphin?
Yeah.
You know dolphin, the same color. Same.
He describes it as having large human-like eyes, large eyelids, and many sharp teeth.
Okay, when I saw it, the first time I saw it, it had normal eyes, like a human eye, like normal, like eyelids and everything.
Right.
But when it looked at me, it was blinking, and you can see the eyelashes and everything.
It also had a light floating over its shoulder, and either 1 or 2 bent legs, making Angel think that they might be broken.
When I saw it like standing up on 2 legs, the legs were like bent in a way. I don't know if they're like that but I saw the legs were like bent on the side.
And one of his leg was like crooked, like he had like a broken leg. That's what it looked like to me, like a crooked leg on the side.
This is where it gets strange. In one interview, Angel started saying this.
Okay, it kind of looked to me, you know what, it looked like a little bit like a reptile.
A reptilian.
Like a tall creature.
Okay, you guys both go inside and tell your parents.
They didn't believe me at first.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, they probably did not believe you, right?
Yeah, they didn't believe me. So then I called my father, and he came inside too.
Your dad saw it
My
too.
dad saw it too, yeah.
However, this wouldn't be the only alien that the brothers and father would see that night. The family got guns and weapons and prepared to confront these creatures. And it's here where this now viral video was taken. Let's break this down because
Alright, let's see. I can't see the alien.
Can be seen here if you know where to look. First, we see men of the family enter the backyard with pistols.
Okay, can I say something? Why is it every time something like videos like these, you know, paranormal videos, UFO sightings, aliens, freaking even just anything that you want to see, it's always recorded in chopped ass cameras? Is it just me that knows this? Or is it true? Why can't we get a clear 4K high definition video picture of this, bro? Why does it always have to be chopped?
They see something and run in fear. Let's zoom in right here. This is the first supposed alien shown, but what about the second?
I don't know.
The internet and news largely focused on this strange shadow right here. And between the fence posts, we see more movement, which people think might be its legs. The same investigator who enhanced the first footage also overlaid a 3D model here with bent legs, just like how Angel described. Personally, I think this shadow is likely Joshua's shadow going through the gaps in the fence and onto the ground behind it. But the first alleged alien does seem to be something moving, and the men both see and react to it. Later in this video, at the direction of the father, the mother would zoom in the backyard where the father was saying the creatures were. The internet would outline a lot of shapes here as well. We can't extrapolate too much from this footage alone.
I can't really see it. Nah, bro. Or am I really that blind? Yeah, that's true.
But luckily for us,
but I can't really
this
see
story is still getting weirder. According to Angel, him and his brother would return to that yard, and once more they saw one of the beings. But this time, it was less friendly.
Less friendly?
Angel and this creature would lock eyes. However, now its eyes were glowing neon, and he was unable to move. He was paralyzed. He could see the being's chest moving as it breathed, and he could also hear this breathing, but not with his ears.
When I heard it breathing, I heard him breathe in my eyes. Does that make sense?
Angel closed his eyes briefly, and seconds later was released from this paralysis, where he then ran to his home and called 911.
I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes. Like I can't explain it. And big mouth.
Damn.
They're shiny eyes.
How could you explain something like this?
And they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
While waiting for the
through
police,
people's mind,
his
like they
family
speak
would pray in their home.
They speak through people's minds. That's scary, bro. Hopefully, I never have to see an alien ever in my life. Like, that's the way how they could communicate with us. Like, they can probably speak like us. Just, I don't know. The part is crazy, like, of like the eyes turning neon and then paralyzing them. That's kind of scary. That's actually scary and cool. I'm not gonna lie. I would want to know more about like these aliens, bro. We could go through a whole alien series as well. Like how I do with my ghost stories, we could probably react to some more UFO sightings or ghosts, aliens. That would be cool. Learn more a little bit. Where else have you seen that? You know another stories? Let me know about that too.
But as they prayed, the beings didn't just remain in the backyard.
So we started praying. My whole family in the living room, and you could hear like how can I say, stepping on the roof, and you could see like, the doors open, like they were shaking, whispering. I heard a lot of screaming in the backyard.
Finally, after about 30 minutes, the police came to the house, and the family would tell their story. And again, the story gets stranger. Based on Angel's later interviews, the police would walk around with him and express some fear and unease, but ultimately nothing was found. Except for this.
Yeah,
Angel
I've
claims
seen
one of the
this,
officers
yeah.
pointed out this circular impression to him, and Angel then took a photo of it. And where's the body cam footage of this part? The 16 minutes of the backyard
UFOs
walkthrough was redacted by the police department. We'll get to that in a bit because that's not the only strange thing the government was doing. The picture would be circulated around a lot on TV and the internet. Now, at face value, we may think it's from a UFO landing, but here we find a problem.
Social media sleuths have since pointed out that the circular image has been viewable via Google Earth for more than a year.
People would now accuse Angel of deliberately lying.
You're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud.
I'm going to defend Angel a bit on this. This yard area belongs mostly to the landlord, and these are his vehicles, not the family's. They likely don't go back here a lot. This might be an honest mistake on his part.
Well, why are you pulling me? I'm right.
Anyways, back to the story. After the police leave, the family would still hear footsteps on the roof, whispers, and things at their door, but for the most part, the encounter was now over. At least for now. On May 6th, 3 bizarre things would happen all in one day. During the day, a black Suburban with government plates would slowly drive by the home while Angel and Joshua were in the front yard. Inside, the brothers saw 3 men, but these weren't ordinary-looking people.
They just passed by and they stopped in the front of the house and they both look at us at the same time, and like there was 3 people and like they both like turn at the same time.
Like they all look like the same person.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about the Men in Black after like somebody after somebody always reports alien encountering or something like that. They're always visited by the Men in Black, bro. But they're aliens, right? They're aliens disguised as humans. I've heard like they have pale skin. They don't blink. Their eyes are dark. Hell no. I would be the scary. I think that's more scary than aliens, bro.
Suit with the white shirt inside, like a normal suit, and they have sunglasses like no, they're all bald. I remember.
They're all bald.
These identical men would turn to Angel and his brother at the same time. This fits the description of real-life Men in Black associated with the UFO phenomenon.
And I said, well, why were they scary? And she said, they had no facial hair, none. She said they had no eyebrows, no eyelashes, nothing. Their hair looked
that could
like
be
they
true
had
also.
A wig
but,
on. Like
but why go bald and like look scary, bro? You could just be a regular person. You don't gotta go that extreme.
Attached to their hat, like it wasn't even real.
The next weird thing to happen was a large drone would appear over the backyard.
What do you mean there was a drone? How do you know it was a drone?
It was a drone. I saw it. It was a drone. It was kind of bigger. Like, how can I? Maybe like 20 inches, maybe. Big drone.
Like somebody could have had a drone trying to take pictures of the backyard from your property?
Maybe, yeah. But it had police lights on it. It had blue and red police lights on it.
It had blue and red.
I don't know. It might be the police. I don't know.
You might be wondering, was that actually the police? And that isn't going to be the last time you ask that question. Because at midnight, 2 more people would come to the home claiming to be police officers. Apparently, they needed to inspect the backyard some more. But the police department denied that they sent more police over.
You know, Metro Vegas police going to the house days after this crash, a couple of sergeants, a couple of investigators, the family reports, and they didn't exist. The Metro Police are saying we didn't. Do we believe the Metro Police when they say they didn't? Or do we think that somebody did show up dressed as them?
An alleged close relative of Angel would contact YouTuber QuirkZone on a burner phone and give even more details.
There's so much more things we can't say, like how they took all of my relatives' clothes and never gave it back. They said they were the police detectives, but we never saw a badge. Angel said no policeman or police car came. They showed up at night as well. It says the last time they showed up, Angel tried to record them, but he couldn't. The phone was like froze, and they said they were going to the backyard, and that's when he tried to record, but they never came back out. It's like they disappeared or left through the backyard of our neighbors.
Now, enter Doug Papa. an investigative journalist and former undercover cop who mainly focuses on police corruption.
To the day I can't tell the truth because somebody's pressuring me, and the day the system doesn't want me to tell the truth because somebody's pressuring me, is the day I leave the badge on the desk and walk away.
He originally broke the Las Vegas alien story by personally interviewing Angel, his family, and his neighbors. He found some pretty bizarre things. For instance, this case was listed as closed after the police responded to the 911 call.
And also, if the case was closed, ladies and gentlemen, like it's reported in the log, then why did these two other officers, like the mother said, came back 2 days later and said the other cops didn't do something correctly or something? What are they looking for?
While interviewing Angel, Angel said something very weird to Doug.
Angel.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you get his plate? His license plate?
Who the f is asking Angel to get Doug Papa's license plate? And that's what he was wondering too. Angel claimed it was just a reporter, but Doug did his own research. As it turns out, Angel was lying about that part.
Remember, he lied to me that day, folks. You remember from the other podcast. He told me he was talking to a reporter. And then later on, he changed. He said it was a detective. And I found out from my sources it was a detective, a counterterrorism detective assigned to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's Homeland Security Division.
Okay, so now you probably have some questions. Good. Get ready to have some more. Let's talk about the police cameras which were installed at the property. Doug investigated this and found out who specifically installed the cameras.
There was like a green light.
They were installed on May 19th in a lamppost in the rear yard of the family's home, and my police sources said those were definitely installed by the technical and surveillance squad that works for Homeland Security, and they were pulled out 3 days before May 27th when I went back.
And they were likely feeding the footage to the Southern Nevada Counterterrorism Center.
It's called the Real-Time Crime Center, and that's the camera's home base that were installed at Angel's house. The Real-Time Crime Center is in the Southern Nevada Counterterrorism Center.
Doug would also discover that the missing body cam footage from that night may have been deleted.
And the speculation is that something was either deleted or changed in the record system. Whether it was a body camera or a dispatch system, we don't know, because he's not even talking to his friends. I got his name, but I'm not going to mention it. So that came from reliable sources within Metro.
Next, Angel would show Doug a strange drawing which appeared to be scratched into the ground that showed the home and the events of that night.
On May 27th, when I was at the house talking to the family, Angel and his brother took me into the backyard, and they showed me what's in this photo here, which are chalk drawings or etchings, whatever you want to talk, in the concrete. Angel says that wasn't there last night, but the next morning when they opened up the door, they saw these chalk drawings.
But if it's like a haunted house and people mistake by aliens.
Actually, this is my shower. Yeah. You see why I painted it? So one night I was taking a shower and I felt like something behind me. So I looked. It was like a shadow, like something small, like a little. I don't know how to say it. Like a short shadow, like a short, like a little,
like a kid.
Yeah. So that's what you know.
And so you painted it over the window.
Yeah.
Dude, yo, that's
actually
crazy.
When you take a shower, you can hear like somebody like knocking, yeah.
And we also get a very weird detail that almost no one talks about. That before all this happened, a mysterious woman approached him, Joshua, and their cousin at a gas station after she had called Angel by name.
It was an old lady. She comes to me, she's like, God wants to speak to you. I was like, what's going on? I kind of didn't believe it at first. I was like, they're trying to mess with me. She's like, I'm gonna tell you something's gonna happen to Vegas. Like, what's going on? They're like, and she's like, there's gonna be 10-foot creatures that are going to eat Las Vegas alive. So she's like, get my number down and let's pray to God so we can fight these demons. That's what she told me, but I lost her number, so.
And I said, Angel,
you're the chosen one.
Crazy. And he says, well, that's the truth. That's what she did. And I said, if you start telling people a story like this, your credibility is going to go out the door, because that sounds freaking crazy.
It sounds
Says,
insane.
well, that's what she told me.
Now, with so many weird details about this case being told by the family and by outside investigators, this story would go viral across the internet and news media, and Angel would do a handful of interviews, one of which I found very interesting from Inside Edition. They asked the father, Angel, and Joshua to draw what they saw.
And describe this. What is this? And what are these?
These are, they look like ears, but they have like antennas.
Shrek!
And large eyes.
That's not an alien. That's Shrek's cousin.
A lot of teeth.
No nose?
No.
He just got out of rehab not too long ago.
No nose. No.
Describe this if you can.
You know, this is what I saw. The light was beside him.
Yeah.
I've tried to make the skin color.
Oh, hell no. I mean, that's not really that scary. Right?
The skin tone had one of the...
Actually, no. I'll take that back. I think just the color itself, I mean, it's whatever. Bro, but eyes like that, hell no.
Bent.
And they're
Their
like
drawings
8
are
foot.
different, so surely this proves it's a hoax, right?
Wrong!
One of the most reputable cases of alien contact in ufology had something similar, where in 1996, over 60 children witnessed a UFO land and aliens get out, but we would see different versions of the same event, because they would claim to have seen the same event differently. Of course, I'm talking about the Ariel School UFO incident. Let's get to a checkpoint ahead. A tinfoil hat is required past this point because we are going in one level deeper. A craft would land outside the play area of children attending the Ariel School in Zimbabwe, where over 60 children would see the beings exit the craft. And these kids would draw what they witnessed. Some saw the aliens having hair.
Oh look, they're drawing like the same thing. The eyes, bro. I'm telling you.
Walking,
scary.
Some saw them
scary.
floating.
What the hell is that thing?
And some saw nothing at all. The children would be interviewed later by a psychiatrist who was also a Harvard professor. He concluded the kids believed they had at least seen something genuine and weren't lying. And almost 30 years later, they still swear by the story as adults. But why am I bringing this up in relation to the Vegas case? One of the most famous pioneers of ufology research, Jacques Vallée, hypothesizes that a lot of the sightings we encounter may not be as physically real as we think, but may involve some manner of psychological projection.
Vallée noted the similarities between medieval European stories of fairies, lutins, and kobolds, for example, and the short alien beings seen by abductees and other 20th century UFO witnesses.
So these are all like aliens? Gnomes? Goblins? What is that? Who's that?
By drawing from powerful archetypes in our evolving cultural repertoire, they create a myth about themselves, their origin, means of travel, and purpose for visiting, which in turn influences our mythology with each new encounter. Vallée noted that most of the ufonauts' revelations, especially those concerning their origins, were nonsense.
Oh! Hold up, people. Look who's here. I did not think you were gonna join me. Yo, chat, my mother's on live with us right now. I better pull through
And
it.
almost entirely
better be a
different
good
from
stream.
one another. Science, he argued, had only ever studied the natural and spontaneous world of earth, water, plants, and animals. Never had scientists attempted to understand something that intentionally deceived its investigators and led them into false beliefs.
The Las Vegas encounter may be another instance of this.
So you ended up making the account then?
Known phenomenon in ufology where there was a real encounter, but some of the details just don't make sense because there's a non-corporeal aspect to it. But first, let's play skeptic. Was the family hoaxing this all for money or fame? Was this even real? Well, at no point in any interview did Angel advertise products or services. But when it comes to the story itself, a lot of the details were just everywhere and do become nonsensical. The circle in the ground, chalk markings, and prophecies. And Angel was also very young, and English isn't his first language.
That's the thing that I was kind of crazy.
Whenever he did interviews, he constantly told his story out of order, making it seem even more confusing than it already was. This made it difficult to assemble an accurate timeline of events, and to a lot of people, this made it look like he was lying. The only publicity they would get was almost entirely negative, and it would escalate from online to real life.
Destroy the child.
The family posted no trespassing signs, but break-ins have been reported
Damn, I
frequently
feel.
here
I mean,
as recently as
at the end of the day, he's still a kid.
I'm not an actor. I'm not doing it for money, for fame. I actually hated that I'm on TV, to be honest, because I went to the gas station yesterday, around 8, 9 p.m., and 2 couples came to me and they started touching me. They're like, "I saw you on TV. You saw the alien?" And I got like harassed, and I started screaming at them. I tried to call the couple. I was like, forget about it.
The family had to lawyer up,
That's
issue a
crazy.
statement, and withdrew completely from the public light.
Now, an attorney for that family is warning trespassers who go onto the private property.
See, that's the video that I saw.
Someone could be hurt, possibly even shot.
And even though Angel started a YouTube channel, he only ever uploaded one video, and it was clearly an afterthought. I mean, this is how he ended it.
I'm going to make a part 2 of the stuff that happened after May 1st, and thank you for watching the video.
And he never
So I don't think
posted
this case was
again.
a hoax, but that doesn't mean it was aliens. It's more complicated than that.
And what was
After
it?
listening to every interview of Angel I could find, their story has been remarkably consistent, and I do think he, his brother,
They were
and
the
dad
chosen ones,
did
the chosen
see
ones.
something. They're not lying about that part of the story. I don't think it was a hoax by the family. I think it was a hoax on the family by some people that glow in the dark, and they got these people tangled up in something bigger than them. This is my hypothesis. The family was scoped out ahead of time for being very religious and for not being native English speakers.
No, all Angel kept telling me, he kept reiterating when I was talking to him, both in person, even on the phone. He just kept all the time. You know, we're Christians, we believe in God, we believe in Jesus, you know, we believe in God, we believe in God.
That's ideal for having witnesses who believe in the supernatural.
I wanna do a video like this on UFOs.
And then, months later, you fire a flare or firework into their backyard.
But remember, I said on the podcast that I spoke to the next door neighbor. And she said about that time, she heard a thud.
The fog Angel, Joshua, and their dad encountered likely had subtle traces of a hallucinogenic. And then they would see something, which
Oh, they
was
drugged
physically
them?
real,
That's what they
but
did?
not exactly aliens. The
They were
body cam
seeing
footage by the
shit.
police would be redacted to hide any evidence or loose ends, and a drone comes in later to look for anything left behind. And then you send in men in fake police uniforms to clean up the scene. I think the family was then slowly intimidated by the government.
Damn, I don't like
And
this
then
theory.
He wrote this. He says the same two men that
I just rather like be aliens, like actual aliens, actual creatures, not a whole fucking organization by
visited, and I have
messed up
Out,
people.
but I'll just say that visited his family were the same two that visited Angel
what?
and told him it's best he said it was a prank. Otherwise, visas would get revoked in the family. But when he said he would get hate and potentially get hurt, they said, okay, well, say it was paranormal, and that's why he said what he said.
You mentioned paranormal activity. What exactly did you see?
Well, I was in another room. My brother.
Paranormal activity? No. Paranormal activity. My mom has the best paranormal stories you will ever hear. We got more videos on that coming out soon. Definitely. You guys only heard a little bit of what they have gone through out there. No. I don't like that theory though. Of the people making like what was it, a prank or something? I don't like that. I rather it be real aliens. I'm saying.
Down cross, and there was a Jesus statue in it. They ripped Jesus out of it. They threw him like across the room, and it was floating upside down.
Are you saying floating in the air?
Yeah, like in the air. It was floating upside down.
What did the priest say when they actually came to your house?
They're watching someone being
They're
forced to
saying
lie.
that it might be fallen angels.
Fallen
Like,
angels?
demons or fallen angels, something like that.
But what would the motivation be behind creating a wild and crazy viral psyop on an unsuspecting family? Well, the very next month, in early June, David Grush would go public with News Nation.
Welcome. Have a seat. Maybe start off telling me your name and who you are.
David Grush, an incredibly highly cleared intelligence officer, had gone to Congress, and with him, he had brought evidence and witnesses of an
There's
illegal
nothing
program.
in here anymore. I'm just
It was the UFO
pretending to
crash
sleep.
retrieval and reverse engineering program of the United States.
So, an official investigatory body of the United States government has determined that your allegations are credible. Correct.
If you want to know more, I made a video compiling
We
and
have
organizing
bodies.
all of his
I've
claims
seen
so
this.
they could get
I've
caught
seen
up.
this hoop before.
I think because Grush was doing everything legally, it was harder to discredit him and stop him. So, alongside threatening his life and his wife's life, I think one other way they tried to stop him was by overwhelming the news with a seemingly nonsensical but viral story, thus distracting from Grush's story and making him look bad by association. In other words, they wanted people
including Christians, believe aliens are fallen angels. I'm Christian. I don't believe aliens are fallen angels.
People to not even know David Grush existed and be unaware of how seriously Congress was taking him. However, I want you to disagree with me on my hypothesis here, because there might be more to this case than what I found.
We should make an iceberg video.
I can give.
I have all these ideas right now.
The Las Vegas alien encounter is a genuine rabbit hole of bizarre things, all intersecting into one. So I encourage you to look at the facts for yourself and use this video as a good first step. Ufology has always had cases where people lie for fame and money, but this was not one of them, and yet the family was treated like it was. All I can say for sure is that the family saw something real, and it's worth investigating further. There's a lot here that may still be hidden, and with an open mind,
we ain't never gonna know.
Who knows what you'll find.
We're never gonna know
This has been Lately, ending transmission. Special thanks to my members Patron Lev 1384, Jacob Buxton 9.
Shout out Lately. That was a good video. Perfect video. Do I believe the whole story of the kid and like the family of the alien stuff? I want to believe it. But like I said, like even the YouTuber, like the guy said that the story changes all the time. But I wish you're telling the truth.